Greetings, humans. It's the end of the week, and it is also another episode of WarBotNiX Topix. A little bit different this week, as actually some of you may not know, I am actually going to be going to Otakon next weekend. Hey, if anyone's going to Otakon, I would love to see you guys there. I mean, that's about it, really. So Otakon is that annual anime convention that happens in Washington, D.C., and it looks like the guest list is very awkward this year. So, yeah, this year only about 6 domestic guests and more than enough Japanese guests. It looks like they got quite a few people, and it's quite interesting. I did see that there is some from Gundam, from the recent Gundam G-Quox, as well as the voice actress for Leafa from SAO was a big get as well. So gonna be pretty excited. I also saw Studio Trigger is back, so if those into the new Panty and Stockings anime, yay, they're there. For the most part, I go to Otakon almost every year, except for, of course, the years when COVID was around. So, do I plan to cosplay? I think so. It's going to be a very simple cosplay, though. I'm going to be Truck-kun. So if you get bumped into me, I will go ahead and isekai you to someplace. We don't know, but hey, we'll see what happens. Probably not going to have too much content, but I will be doing a live probably Wednesday night next week, and if I do have time to do a WarBotNiX Topix, it'll be then, so look forward to it. Other than that, I don't have much to say. So what else happened this week? I was able to get my hands on some Gundam TCG cards, the box of it, and did some really good pulls. Not everything I wanted, but it was pretty impressive. The amount of really cool art and everything was really nice, and I really liked it. So, but what else has been happening? Well, something interesting did happen, and I kind of actually want to talk about it. And that is the price tag of $80 games. Let me just pull this up here. Outer Worlds 2 price drop. There we go. So, Xbox conceded. That's actually one way to put it. To basically reduce the price of their $80 game down to $70. Which, to be honest, gets me thinking. What made them back down? What possibly made Xbox and Microsoft to back down? Well, obviously, it probably didn't meet certain metrics, and I'm guessing the pre-order metrics, as well as the feedback, the vitriol, the attempt to normalize this to be a thing. Honestly, I actually watched Belvedere News's take on this point, and I think honestly, he made some amazing points. Like, Nintendo can technically get away with it, because Nintendo, if anyone has seen a previous episode of WarBotNiX Topix, is that they have that expectation of a game that will persist for years and you'll still get enjoyment out of it. And it's Mario Kart. It's a big name. It's a big name IP and franchise. But also, Nintendo also did some interesting marketing, and good on them, I guess. And Mario Kart Worlds has its own problems with the online services and the way they do random do the random and select tracks issue. That's a totally different topic for another day. But they basically, the way they increased attach rate was to get the bundle to basically reduce that cost of the game from 80 to 50 as a bundled game. So that was a pretty good, that's a pretty smart strategy from them. So, but in this case, I don't understand why Microsoft would even attempt to even dream of taking I want to say not even household name game and put it to 80. Because Outer Worlds was an okay game. It was fun, it was enjoyable, but it didn't like create waves. You know, it was a game that came out of Obsidian, and a lot of people who worked on that game came from Bethesda, and that's where their lineage comes from. Great, cool, that's awesome. But this is if this was a strategy to sort of move the acceptance from 60 to 70 to 80, this was not the way to do it. Now, clearly Nintendo also hasn't been putting out another $80 title. Recently, I think Bellary News said this correctly. The Donkey Kong Bonanza game was 70 and less. Actually, I saw it on Amazon for $62, which is, I don't know if that was normal or not, or maybe the pre-orders were not there, so they just lowered the price right away. Who knows? But this cannot be normalized. Like, $70 already is a lot of money. And there wasn't anything really special about this, if you think about that. Like, I want to pay $10 more to play the game on time this time. It's not like pre-order, pay an extra $5 to play it a week early. No, it's just pay more to play on time. And pay less to play it later, if you think about it. Yeah, games are getting more and more expensive. And I get it. Games cost a lot of money to make. But you know what else seems to cost a lot of money? Marketing. It's one of those things where you have to think about it. If there's a lot of marketing for a game, that just tells me either A, the game can't sell itself on its own merit, or B, you have a lot of money left over that could have gone to polish, could have gone to more content, could have gone to, I don't know, back to your coffers for reinvestment. Like, yeah. But that's just me. Here's some history, actually. I actually went into university for game design, but I didn't like it. I actually really did not enjoy it. Maybe it'll change. Yeah, given that tools since then have gotten a lot more accessible and easier to use, it may not be a bad idea for another shot. But I think this is a good win, but to be honest, I don't know if it's... But to be honest, though, it feels like we already still lost, given that the games are still $70 freaking right now. And monetization has gone pretty rampant. And I think that's why, and to be honest, there was actually a fun study done, I think, last year, where majority of the players are playing games that are 10 years old. And for good reason. These are games that are still fun, they keep up, and either new experiences, and to be honest, some of these new experiences that they are providing, either just priced out, or, you know, the people are just waiting for their sales. And that's actually, and I get it, it's bad for these publishers and companies because people are not playing the new stuff because they're still playing the old stuff. Well, here's my challenge to publishers and to developers too. Like, developers, I get it. You guys just want people to play your game. It's your baby, it's your project. I get it. But to the big wigs that are above you and everything, if you want people to buy your product, just give your developers what they need to make it happen. Forget about arbitrary numbers and checkboxes or whatever. Just let their passion go through. Not everything has to be a freaking live service piggy bank or like opportunistic price increase. We already have too much of that already. And I mean, read the room. I don't like the last thing humans need right now to go up in price is the one thing that's going to help them with escapism from real life. All right. Well, and speaking of real life, again, guys, if anyone's going to be going to Otakon, I'll see you there. Other than that, and also look forward to Start Select Connect. That is my podcast channel. We'll actually be talking about this as well in more detail, as well as I'm gonna have to bash Nintendo again. Man, that seems to be our most favorite punching bag these days. All right, I'm gonna be going live this weekend with Mecha Break as well as Uma Musume. All right, see you on the internet. Take care.